You trust those giant storage tanks you see near ports and factories every day. But in Boston, on January 15, 1919, one ordinary tank proved the deadliest truth in engineering. The biggest dangers hide in the details you never check. At noon, a steel cylinder 50 feet tall, the height of a 5-story building, tore open without warning. It released 2.3 million gallons of molasses. That is enough to fill 3.5 Olympic swimming pools. No licensed engineer oversaw every step. The treasurer in charge of construction, Arthur Gell, had no architectural or engineering background. He approved the design anyway. The walls ended up far thinner than engineering standards of the day required, roughly half the thickness needed to safely hold the load. Rivets were spaced too sparsely and installed poorly. The steel itself lacked enough manganese, the element that keeps metal tough instead of brittle in cold weather. On paper, the tank could hold 2.5 million gallons. In reality, it was never properly tested. A partial water fill was all they bothered with. From the very first full load, it leaked. It groaned under pressure. Children in the neighborhood would hold cans against the seams and collect free molasses. The company's response: paint the tank brown to hide the stains. Think of the pressure inside that tank like stacking heavy books on a flimsy cardboard box. The deeper the liquid, the harder it pushes outward on the walls. Engineers call this hoop stress. The bottom plates felt the full crushing force of all the molasses above. Yet the steel was too thin, the rivets too weak. Each rivet carried almost twice the load it should have, and the metal turned brittle on cold days. Here is where it gets even worse. 2 days before the disaster, a warm shipment of molasses arrived from Puerto Rico. The temperature in Boston jumped from 2 degrees Fahrenheit the day before to about 40 degrees on January 15th. The warm liquid expanded. Any minor fermentation inside added extra gas pressure. The tank had groaned louder than ever during that final fill. But no one stopped the operation. At about 12:30 that Wednesday afternoon, the tank simply ripped open near the base. Rivets popped out like machine gun fire. A long rumble shook the ground. Then the wall split. A massive wave surged down Commercial Street. It smashed into the elevated railway, buckling girders. It lifted the firehouse at the corner and slammed it sideways. It crushed a nearby building where city workers ate lunch. People were swept off their feet. Some drowned in the sticky flood. Others suffocated as the molasses cooled and hardened around them like quick-drying cement. The wave traveled 2 full city blocks before slowing. It left streets coated 2 to 3 feet deep in places. Rescue was nightmarish. Firefighters and sailors from a nearby training ship waded in, pulling survivors from the goo. Horses trapped in the mess had to be shot. Cleanup took weeks. The sweet smell clung to Boston for years afterward, strongest on hot summer days. The company immediately blamed anarchists, claiming a bomb because some alcohol went to munitions. But the evidence told a different story. Leaks, groans, no proper tests. Steel too thin, rivets overstressed. The court-appointed auditor, after years of hearings and thousands of pages of testimony, ruled it was structural failure caused by negligence. United States Industrial Alcohol paid out $628,000 in damages, a fortune then. More importantly, this disaster exposed a dangerous gap. Anyone could design and build critical structures without proper oversight. In the years that followed, states across America began requiring licensed professional engineers for public safety projects. Tank designs improved. Full hydrostatic testing became standard. Factor of safety calculations, that extra margin against the unexpected, could no longer be ignored. The world around us became safer because 21 people paid with their lives for decisions made in haste. The next time you drive past an industrial tank or cross a bridge built to code, remember the molasses flood. Those quiet structures feel routine, safe. Because of lessons paid for in tragedy, engineering is never about perfection. It is about building things that fail gracefully, when they must, and learning so the same mistake never repeats. This is exactly why we dig into these hidden stories of engineering. Not to scare you, but to show how the reliable world around us was forged from failure, rigorous thinking, and the determination never to repeat the same mistakes. If this video shifted how you see the structures around you, even just a little, drop a like. Share it with anyone who passes tanks or buildings without a second thought. And if you are not already subscribed to Hidden Stories of Engineering, hit that button. We have more forgotten decisions, quiet failures, and life-saving fixes coming your way. Stay curious out there and stay safe. Thanks for watching.